Godless, godless, are you there, God? It's me, you. You disappeared so soon after I've just found you. Huh, I am looking at my reflection in the mirror and know you are there, but still, I can't feel you, so I can't feel myself either. The fear has consumed me. Since then I struggle to drag out the divine from inside, but struggle makes it worse. It hides deeper. A thick layer of corkwood makes me breathless. I have turned blind, once again. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Tea or coffee? Sir, I was zoning out from reality, but still sitting in a plane, flying to Arizona. Tea, please. These days, my heart beats faster but I don't feel it anymore. I can turn it back into second, but it's the hardest clap of fingers in the history of mankind. The knowledge of the most complicated one-click transformation makes me suffer even more. Would it be easier just to be an unbeliever? Work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, fuck, sleep, drink, sleep. Yes, I had a thought to bring my old habits back. To forget once and for all that I am the God and light up the cigarette. Then some intellectual with no heart would say that God is dead. And maybe he would be right, because thousands of hearts die every day anyway. Thousands of gods forget their true nature. Who the God I am to be different? The souls are lost. They choose to sleep for eternity. Then they die and come once more, thousands more to recall, but every ignorance makes it harder for them to free themselves. And that's how we become slaves of life. Yes, life is slavery itself. If not, then what would be the reason to be born? The point is to become free from attachments, and I would call life a one big attachment. Do you think you are attached to food? People? Drugs? No, you are attached to life. That's the problem. We cling so desperately to our existence, that we suffer. Tell me that self-murderer does not love life and I will laugh. He is the one who loves it the most, so he refuses to face life if not played by his rules. He refuses to play. That's all. This is the act of rebellion, a manifestation of protest to the world. He is just angry. Follow the suicidal soul after the death and ask whether he would do it once more or live his unbearable life fully. Just ask. And then, the focus starts. He doesn't remember yet he should be born again, and suddenly someone turns to him. Hey, sir, you are going to be born for the 342,748,329,472,398th time. Accept it, or in case of denial, please push the cancel button. What do you think? Does he think at all? Suicider. He pushes yes, absolutely, yes, I want to be born again. He is so happy to have one more 342,748,329,472,398th chance. As it seems the suiciders are born much quicker in this life, they won't even wait for after-death treats. Interesting. Maybe I shall. Oh, no, really. Am I really thinking about suicide? You see, God? I've already become dangerous to myself. And what awaits me then? Just to discuss. More suffering will come. One more round of tortures. I have no nerves to stand bureaucracy. Okay, we are done. Do you see? We are moving forward. It seems like humor, and humor has a smell of divine. Just a little bit and I will catch your vibe. When I arrive, will you be there, God? What if I lost you totally? What if I got stuck here and never ever will get through you? Hell. Oh, God, I can't breathe. Ellipsis. Wait. Even hell is not the final destination but the place of purgatory, and ifs doesn't exist, right? Ifs are only the imagination. I do not deserve suffering after all. I am boiling. I deserve to be joyful. Hey, now we are going through the celebration of spiritual ego. You see how anxious and short-tempered am I? Breath. Inhale, exhale, sit on the shore. Observe, these thoughts are not yours, these thoughts are not yours. The thoughts are collective, that's what I know for sure. It's just like spiritual radio. Shit frequency, shit music will come. Breath. Am I in the same shit? Come on. I thought I was transcendent almost. So sarcastic. Hey, sir, take your keys, please. The room is ready. Oh, yeah, I have arrived. I'm entering the motel. So, where was I? Are you there, God? I will get shit out from you. Once I thought you were a guy with a beard, I was so mad at you. Now, when you have the face of mine, I don't even know on whom to be angry. There is no one left. Should I close my eyes back? Nah, I am already on the space track and have opened them too wide to return to Earth. These navigation buttons. I have known them well but forgot how to handle the conducting system. This is Major Tom to ground control. I am stepping to the dark and I am floating in the most peculiar way, na-na-na-na. Sir, smile. Oh, yes. I am in the Grand Canyon. An Asian guy is standing in front of me with my smartphone. I am smiling. Are you here, God? Because I think you love places like this. I mean, the places like this have powerful,
bright eyes. If I could, I'd preserve the light in his eyes forever, grant his vision the pristine clarity of fitted spectacles. I'd stop time, everything around him so that he could savor the world at his own tempo. I want to cherish him, my son Raphael, give him everything I know and more, bless him with all the riches and fineries, with glory and cut-out crowns, with remote-controlled race cars and game boards. When beside him, I'm colossal, large, and broad enough that I could swallow him. Cast my body over his, and dome him like a pearl. I scoot over, so close that I wonder if he can register the sound of my heartbeats, but my son's spellbound by the sky, by the shifting rounded edges of the flocculent cumuli. What are you thinking about, Raph? They're just so big, he shrugs. It must be pretty cool to be inside one. I let out a chuckle, but the thought of my son trapped in the days of a never-ending fog makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And where's this coming from? I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of fun, Raphael says without taking his eyes off the clouds. I want to ask him what he sees, but the thought of what he'll respond if I do still frightens me. Does he notice how one of the clouds looks like a rabbit, with its nose pinching out and an ear drooping to the side? Can he see the wisps, how parts of the white masses tear away in thin strands? He can't, I'm sure he can't. Specific details like these are no longer perceived by him. All my son can really see at this point is the blue above us, the whiteness that spreads out in scattered tufts of cotton, and if he turns his head, he'll see the blanket of grass, green splashes on the tops of the trees, and me, his dad. How clearly can he see me? I'm running out of time, I know this. Soon my son will have lost it all, his sight, and in every second that passes when I'm not working, not researching, another child, just like Raphael, has succumbed to darkness, to a place devoid of stars. Forms, or shapes, cast out, wandering in an open, black space. But what should I do, lock him in his room or preserve him like a framed moth? He's still my son, and I'm still his dad, and on sunny days like these, should I really deprive him of the world? I feel guilty for being here, enjoying him, watching time pass us by while the clouds break away in beach foam, but I would feel worse if I left, and in my absence, he never saw me again. It's hospital protocol that every child be tested upon birth. They poked my son's toes, plucked a strand of his thin hair, and peered into his soul through the dense, reflective lens of an ocular monocle. His eyes were haunting and beautiful, the size of gumdrops and bright like silicon. I remember looking at him inside the incubator, his podgy body, how his thighs and arms were so plump that I joked to his mother that he was wearing floaters. He was pale, but not abnormally so, and he energetically jostled his limbs while stuck on his back like a sea turtle. Hours later, the doctors had returned, and our fears were confirmed. In the beginning, I thought it could have been a mistake, an error in testing. Raph learned to walk with such ease and started reading at the age of 3, his motor skills were sharp, so quick, and reactive that I couldn't believe there was any chance of him going through any hardships or difficulties. I thought, and sometimes I still do, that Raphael could be the exception, the golden rule, that he'd display the miraculous and unexplained magical resistance to such a curse. That he'd grow, live, and thrive unaffected by anything. My son's gone through so much. He's been poked and prodded, he's had to accept that he eventually won't be able to read a comic book or watch a movie, that his world will change from lurid to blurred, from acute angles, elaborate layers, and textured hues to messy, unrecognizable brushstrokes, from light to grainy and then finally dark. Oculocutaneous melanin mutation, also known as Serif syndrome to the general public, was discovered only 15 years ago. Thousands of genetic variables can cause vision loss, but this condition was different, enigmatic, alien even to the most gifted of scientists and researchers. Specialists around the world, myself included, studied the OCA2 and HERC2 genes, which to us seemed like the most obvious path to take. The cause of such widespread blindness had something to do with the P protein, with melanin, and how children born with scant amounts of it had an overabundance of ocular blood vessels, a pathway of veiny branches that would grow, eventually obscuring the light in their eyes. About 3% of the global child population has been diagnosed with Serif syndrome, with new technology being able to detect genetic traces of the disorder and confirm its existence in newborns within the first hours of birth. Scientists, doctors, medical practitioners, and specialists in blindness from around the globe